Midget! Come here. Here, take it.
What is this?
That is your new exhaust for your G35. That thing, thick. This is my girlfriend, Bella. You guys might know her on Instagram and YouTube as VQ Bella, but she's built this G35 and made it look absolutely sexy. The one thing that it's always needed was an exhaust. So I thought it'd be awesome to surprise her with the mod that she's been waiting for the longest. But before we begin, I want to show you guys how a muffler delete sounds. Spoiler alert, it's terrible. And that's why we got an exhaust for my girlfriend's G35. I think this car looks really cool, but it needs to sound just as awesome. And there's one item that will fix that. So we're gonna play some musical cars to get my car out of the garage, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the G35 in so we can get started. And of course, like every VQ, it belongs on jack stands. So I'm gonna get this car up in the air to get the Flashark G35 single exit exhaust installed. So Flashark reached out to me and asked me if I wanted exhaust. I have to say, especially at such a low price point, the welds and the construction of the exhaust is actually amazing. And of course, they didn't just send me out the white pipe, that would be boring. But they also sent me out the single exit so that way we can get the G35 not only looking awesome, but to sound awesome as well. So if you guys haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button, because the only reason these things happen is because you guys have been supporting us over these years. But let's get into it. Hopefully this comes with a white pipe and a single exit. So thank God. Oh my gosh, dude, this thing has been yeah, so this is like the exhaust system that's been in the car for like 21, 22 years. Yeah, this thing has seen better days. So thankfully that's gone. You could just chuck that.
A uterus.
And thankfully we have the new one that we're gonna put on, so brand new shiny. It does come with hardware. For anybody installing their exhaust, I always start with the white pipe so that way you have something for the mid pipe and the part that goes to the rear bumper hold on to something, and it kind of just helps, like for me at least, like aligning it. So look, I'm no expert mechanic, but I start from white pipe, do the mid pipe, and then the exits. I'm gonna go ahead and get the new white pipe on, and then after that, we'll just make sure that it all lines up.
You'll be laying down that pipe. Okay.
So now that we're double piped up right now. Yeah, just looking at the two versus each other. I don't know if there's a ton of performance gain from a white pipe, but like I said, it does come with the hardware you need and to get gaskets, so let's get it. Now, I'm not gonna walk through a complete install because this is not a how-to channel. But like I said earlier, Bella does have a muffler delete. And of course, everything was welded together to be pretty much one piece. So it all needs to come out as one. Typically, this is what will be done anyway, but it's just with this exhaust, Ernesto, I know you're the one that welded it, but I don't know if you put these hangers on or not. These are a bad idea to put hooks. If this is OEM, fine, I'll shut up. Nissan, damn. But Ernesto, if this was you, which it looks like it was welded on, because this is literally like, it's like one piece and welded in multiple places. Not smart, man, because with lowered vehicles or any kind of like, you know, if it looks like maybe trucks use this or whatever, but yeah, it's just not smart to put this on because it makes it a pain to change. And it's not really serviceable to get this exhaust off quickly. But if it's OEM, Ernesto, I'll shut my whore mouth. But if it was you, I'm after you, buddy. Unfortunately, this looks like it fits a 350Z, which if you guys don't know, 350Zs are a little bit shorter in the rear. So G35s need an extension piece. And I can't even tell you how many inches this one is. I have to like measure it out. So like I'll install it so that way I can find out the distance between the two. But you have to get a mid pipe a lot of the time for these cars. So here we are, you know, but it's fine. That mid-pipe piece is a lot easier to situate than you think. But yeah, either that or like just get some custom fab, but usually people in Miami tend to have that piece, so I'll find it. But I mean, so far I will say like the exhaust is cool. Like it looks nice, but I knew this was gonna be an issue. I had a feeling, so we're gonna have to continue this at another time. This is the redemption arc because I totally forgot that most exhausts are made for 350Zs and you have to get a pipe, an extension pipe for these cars. So that's exactly what I got. And it came with hardware, sweet. So let's go ahead and see, but the issue here is that I did not measure what size I possibly am gonna need. So I'm just playing a game of gambling. And it's stupid because I could have just measured this before, you know, ordering it, but I feel like 8" is okay. So we're gonna find out. 8 inches of pipe. So I'm gonna give her 8 inches of pipe. The 8" looks fine so far. Where I messed up is I put the exhaust hanger on the wrong side. I think. I'm gonna double check. I should. I hate doing exhaust hangers so much, but every time I do an exhaust, I'm always like, oh, I should get an exhaust hanger tool. And I'm like, this should be the last time, right? It's never the last time. But I'll show you guys the fitment in a second as soon as I'm done struggling with this. And here we go. That thing is on, boy. And it actually, oh, there goes a cat. But it actually looks fire. So I haven't tightened all the bolts down. So I tend to start from the exit and work my way to the cats because I want to make sure it's adjusted and right where I want it to be there. And you can kind of finagle and pull where you need it to in the middle. But I will say this exhaust fits better than some options that are out there. So, and it's just being such a cheap option. I was kind of expecting the worst, but did I get that on camera? I hope so, but I was expecting the worst, but it actually ended up being awesome. It's just the only thing that held us back was I knew I would need an extension pipe and I didn't buy it, but you guys can get the 8" extension pipe from Z1 or from whoever else sells it, and you know, you can get yourself situated. Unfortunately, the G35s need that. I think if you have a sedan, you might have to do the 10 or the 12. Well, no, definitely I think you're gonna have to, because this one's not as long, because obviously it doesn't have 4 doors. So if you buy this exhaust and you have time, just install it, measure it out, see what you need. But let's get the bolts tightened up and then we're gonna see how this thing sounds. And fellas, you know, this is something I learned from Dustin Williams and it's very true. You know, we're used to this, stroke and clean your pipe, you know. Unfortunately, we have a lot of debris on our handsies, and when you get it onto an exhaust and you don't clean it, it stays burned on forever. So just clean it. Clean your pipe. Fellas, that's a lifelong tip. Clean your pipe. Clean it well, real well. She'll appreciate you for it. So they also give you the luxury of putting on a silencer if you want, but we live in Florida, so nah, not happening. We're gonna take this off.
No, if I don't like it, I'm putting that shit back on.
We're gonna keep it off forever.
It's not your car.
It's never going on. I'm gonna hide it. But also keep in mind, if you want to use the silencer for taking your car on track, you might want to keep it. But this is Florida. We don't need it. Moment of truth, baby. Let's see how this thing sounds. And it's I don't know. Like, just looking at this exhaust, I was like, it's either gonna sound really loud but with a good tone, because now it has a muffler, or it's just gonna be super loud and really, really like big VQ noises. I've been nervous about this the entire time, but this is the moment of truth. How does this exhaust sound? Different from here versus like over there. All right, let it warm up, and I'm gonna check for exhaust leaks. It sounds pretty damn good. Rev it a little bit. It's probably rubbing on something, so I gotta check. All right, rev it. Yeah, that sounds a lot more refined. That's way better than a muffler delete. Do you want to go stand there so you can hear it? Or you gotta record anyway. Yeah, go, come.
Okay, but don't go too crazy.
I'm not, let me know.
Okay.
Oh, you can hear the backfires more too. So when I say this one was a little bit of a pain to get back on the ground, it was a pain, but let's roll this out, play some musical cars, and get mine back in the garage. like for an exhaust at this price point, you know, you don't know what really to expect, but this sounds really good in tone. Like, can you downshift a little bit and let's see? Dang. Oh man. Like, how do you?
Oh, is that a Hylia build?
That is, yes. So, like, what do you think so far?
I think my number one concern was that it was gonna sound very like droney and like super trumpety. I've never been a fan of a VQ, but I have a VQ. I want more of a deep muffled tone, and I guess it's like this, but I feel like it's a little bit more low key, so it's not bad. I like it.
When I got offered this exhaust, you know, I saw the price point and I'm like, you know, I don't know. But there was another exhaust that I got before that was the same price, but way back in the day, but now it's like $700 or $600. And for me, it's always about like, because what's super important is besides the type of piping that they use, like obviously different metals give you different sounds, but it's also about like the quality of the actual like muffler can, you know, like, so I think they use fiberglass inside or whatever the case, whatever it may be. But this one is actually like nice. This is nice. You don't sound like a Hylia VQ build, you know what I mean? Thanks. My girlfriend's roasting me right now. Whoa, never mind. You know what? You can roast me all you want. That sounds good. It's the pops, man. It sounds so good. Oh, okay, buddy, relax.
Too much torque.
Yeah, this isn't Fast and Furious. When you leave out of here, like, give it some beans, you know, like down the street, so that we can give people a full experience. Whoa. Yo. Dude. Oh man, this thing has little backfires now, you know what I'm saying? And she's not tuned, so either this thing is running hella rich, or you know, this is kind of leading to another problem. But it sounds so good. Look, give it some oomph. See, you were being so negative. You're like, oh, I don't know if it's too long.
No, I think it's gonna be louder, and it might.
No, it is louder though. Yeah, don't die, don't choke.
It might sound like a VQ, and I was just like, look at the mirrors, oh shit.
But it is literally louder, but it's like I called it. It's louder, but it's a better tone. You know what I mean? Because you actually have a muffler. Like, that's a big deal.
I wouldn't say it's louder, because even cruising, I think because the OEM one sounded a little bit more whinier, it sounded louder, but this one's more tamed but muffled. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's loud.
We need to find out what the drone's like.
No, it sounds good. It was,
but all right, yeah, let's see it at like 60 mile per hour. Not here, we got to find a spot. But yeah, I think that's the last test. Let's do, well, last two. Let's do a drone test to see where it's at like 60 mile per hour, because that's usually what we cruise at around here, because we're law-abiding citizens. And then we can do some revs outside, and so you guys can get the full. I want to show you guys how it sounds like A to Z. Here we go, moment of truth. How does this car sound from the outside? It's either gonna sound really good or it's gonna sound like balls. Let's see. Hold on, babe. Damn, dude, that thing sounds so good. Not bad, dude. Oh my gosh, this is actually amazing. Yeah, let's see with the windows up. Not bad at all. Oh.
all that extra weight.
Hey, you calling me fat? And guys, we did it. It went from this boring exhaust that sounded like crap to a Flashark single exit for a G35, and it sounds amazing. And look how beautiful it looks. And that's it. We installed a single exit G35 exhaust for my girlfriend, and I know that she's wanted this thing for like so long. And then also, like, I didn't really point it out. I guess I'll put some B-roll. I also surprised her with some carbon fiber mirror caps because the wrap job wasn't absolutely perfect on that, and I've been OCD. But what do you think? How do you feel about the exhaust so far?
I like it. This is weird. It's like the New York interview style.
Yeah, we're like newscasters now.
So why are you saying it like that? No, you're okay. Anyways, so well, no, I gotta look at it. I actually haven't looked at it from the outside.
Oh yeah, true.
I personally, I like that it doesn't stick out too much, because I know I would probably forget that it sticks out so much, and then I would probably like run into it. But I think the sound at idle sounds good. I think cruising it sounds good, and then when you actually step on it, I think it sounds good. My only concern again was just the VQ trumpety high pitch noise. So I think you did good. Shout
out to Flashark, and if I have a code to help you guys out, I'll leave it on the screen, because I always like to actually use the product first before I promote it, to make sure that it's actually good. For anybody that has a G35 and you're looking for a really good exhaust option, this sounds awesome. And I'm not just saying that because I possibly get kickbacks. Like, this actually sounds great. But if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay stoked, because hopefully we can surprise my little tiny midget girlfriend. Oh, she's falling. Maybe we can surprise her with more mods in the future, and we can only do that with you guys helping us. So thank you so much. I'm falling.